Check, 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 check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. How we doing, chat? How we doing today? Wait, where do I check that? Analytics? No, research? Wait, what? Oh, Demons, no, stream summary? Discovery? Okay, so I guess none of it. None of the tags. Boom. Boom. Drops. Or just keep it like that. Frank. Streaming. Alright, my baby. What's a good Max Brown? Oh, this was a long time ago. Bro, I've been hooked with Sam Barber, chat. Paramore, Loveless. Yeah, sure. Sure. What's up, Linus? Low. Miles. How you doing? How's it going? No. Entertainment. Guess we'll keep it like that. If I put that one there, and I do that, ooh, I am so smart, chat.
Unless you're going to push top tier content, any build can take you to Torment 4. Okay, that's mostly me, to be honest with you. I'm just happy to see the breadth of content. I don't...
In 2 days, chat. On Tuesday,
need to
they
see
dropped
it at the
Diablo.
highest difficulty. And what inevitably happens to me whenever I play pretty much any ARPG is I go through that cycle a few times of
And I want to play
getting
it.
stronger.
Will I be able to play it this stream it on my... Best gaming budget PC 2026. I mean, how can you make this cheaper, chat? Is it expensive as shit? My landlord is 2 weeks away from developing a nuclear weapon. God damn. That's sick. Build your best PC. Budget friendly PC 2026. I don't know. How do you buy? PC parts explain how to build a PC. The budget gaming PC build 2026. I like this dude. I mean, is it? What ports can you buy, chat?
Okay.
Wait for public holiday sales usually go crazy. Right, Naomi, but when is that? I mean, look at these prices, huh? It's insane.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Make sure it's an investment, right?
it is time to build ourselves.
But a 50-50 when you could buy, yeah, you know. Once the next big holiday sale, bam. It's all May. Yeah, but this is not. Hey, no. I mean, March, April, May. It's in a month. Because, like, the big sales are like Black Fridays, kinda, sort of, right? I know what we can do. Boom. Best budget PC with, and you have the patience. Black Friday has the biggest. Bro, isn't yeah, I know but Black Friday is in November, right? Yeah. I mean, you just gotta keep get updated, right? The per balance on the game PC build gameplay benchmark. It's an ad. I don't want to watch an ad. What do you mean you should sit on big purchases? By sitting on big purchases, you mean like take a step back from it, or you mean think them through? Kind of what you mean, right? But I mean, take me for example. I'm inexperienced when it comes to all of this, right? Don't really know much. So building one way compared to another way. Like which, you know? How do I?
Just nu, 15 kilo gräsmattegödsel för...
Like for example, surely I don't need this processor, right? Surely I don't need this RX 9070 XT, but I want it because it's a better investment, right? I don't need it. I might, you know? Yeah, think things through. Right, yeah.
För 329 hos granngården.
I mean, I remember back in the days when the computer I have now is a 1070 GeForce 1070, and I think I built that one for 15 to 17 back in the days. Now the prices and all have gone up, so my computer now is pretty much, I would say, this one. If not, this one is even better for that amount. Let's say boom boom 2 sec. What is this? It's 23k. I'm from Sweden. 23k, and the prices and all have gone up, which kind of similar, I would say.
In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to build one of the best gaming PCs you can assemble right now. A system powered by AMD's RX 9070 XT, arguably the best all-round 1440p and 4K GPU for the money. And I'm really excited to be doing so inside of a case that I've actually not got hands-on with yet. Fractal Design's immensely popular Meshify 3.
Case.
So it's time to see what all the hype is about, whether this case
No, $2.3 dollars. Well, 2.4 thousand dollars is like 23k Swedish crowns.
Case, because I've heard and read a lot about the Meshify 3, and given it will cost you a little bit more than a standard ATX tower,
bro, that case is ugly.
360mm rad slot at the top.
I don't like it.
My original plan to use Fractal's Lumen S36 has kind of gone out the window. Admittedly, you could put it at the front of the case.
I might
so instead,
be, like,
I've gone for an old faithful and actually tried
the PC parts and all of it, right? I might be very
to shave some
specific,
budget out of this build by picking up Thermal Right's
which I maybe
Phantom
not
Spirit
should be,
120
right?
SE Black.
Like this one, for example, $35. Compare this one to this one. Where is it? Arctic Liquid, blah blah blah. It's like more than half the price. So you can definitely get down.
If you've not heard of Thermal Right before, you're in for a treat. Because the one thing that they're famous for is making coolers that are just
where are you guys from?
Stupidly cheap. Now, we actually did a video recently where we compared a huge range of the most popular air coolers on the market and liquid coolers, and this thing for the price, in terms of a cost per frame basis, knocks it out of the park with basically everything else. We've got a dual twin tower design in black, which I think is going to actually look quite nice inside of our case today, and you get 2 included fans. Now, these are all black, they aren't RGB. Again, if you look at the performance charts where we actually test with a 14700K, a very hot last gen Intel processor.
What is it? Average temp, maximum temp, NSD Kraken Elite. That's ideal, what you want, right? Arctic Liquid Freezer is that one. New Zealand? Wait, I heard New Zealand is like, isn't New Zealand like the safest country? Supposed to be.
Processor. This thing for money is remarkable. With case and cooling out of the way, I might as well talk.
Wait, let me save that one. No, like dangerous animals and whatnot.
Case
it's like
today,
peaceful and safe.
Stupidly cheap. Arts where we at.
Print. Can I control A? Save. Where do I save it? Downloads, short document, PC, pictures, videos, new computer, liquid, top, coolers and fans for computer. Bam. I think you can just spending big on something you'll get good use out of. I hear you. That's like the plan. It is like a big, great investment. It is. What's up, Saira? I hope I said your name right. Saira. How you doing? The people on only digital animals. Yeah, but that's like the whole world. We're the most dangerous ones, right? I mean, the time zones for New Zealand, though, is... Yeah. But I mean, if you compare New Zealand to Australia, Australia has like these snakes, spiders, this and that. And then you have like New Zealand. What has New Zealand to offer with animals like that? Don't even come close, right? What the fuck is that? There it is. Boom. Done. New most 5 facts about New Zealand. I just got curious. 10 facts. No snakes. We got orcas and occasional shark. Yeah, but how often? Yeah. New Zealand has more sheep than people? Has the steepest road in the world? Not in a... Most dangerous animal on New Zealand. Bulls, wild pigs, and horses. Why is that? Is it because New Zealand has been like careful with importing things that... I don't know. It's interesting. New Zealand's one place you should... Most of the land here isn't habitable. Really? Why is that? Sacred land? Huh.
Actually test with a 14700K, a very hot last gen Intel
It's like the country itself is like careful and aware of what they do with it.
Out of the way, I might as well talk about the power
compared
supply
to
as
all the
well
world.
before we move on to the interesting stuff, the GPU, the CPU,
Which is
etc.
good.
This right here is the Corsair RM750E, which is actually a fairly unassuming looking power supply that's actually going to be perfect for the build today. The 9070 XT recommends a 750 watt PSU, which this obviously is. But the great thing about this is that Corsair...
I mean, chat, is it a good thing to like... be aware of the prices on all the stuff and like, oh, this day the price has gone down, let's buy it, boom, you know? You got massive fines with imports, so I guess we haven't given traders a chance. That's what I mean. Yeah. Do that. Let's do platinum. The landscape, that's what makes it so beautiful, right? Oh, this is a How much? Wait, let's see. Estimated wattage 575, which means that 750 is enough. Exactly. Yeah. What I have 850. I mean, 650, 850. It's gold. All Corsair. Out of stock. It's gold. What's the difference between power supply and platinum? Platinum supply is efficient, with platinum units being roughly 2% more effective at converting AC power to DC, produce slightly less heat and saving minor amounts of electricity bills. Okay, so best for high-end content creators is where power draw heat. Okay. Interesting.
Really up their game with the cables. You actually get.
Wait, one more thing. If the estimate wattage 50 on computer build, what preferable power supply do you want? Bam. Or the most preferable choice was units. That's too close. You only need 750 for upgrades, overclocking. But if you, so it depends. If you get a 750, that's safe and efficient for the build, then you maybe want to upgrade this one and the components. But then if you get good components and you got this one, then you only need to upgrade like the components. It's like, yeah.
Get these really nice.
Have you gone in store and asked Clerk about what you want to do? No, I have not.
The GPU and the motherboard power.
This is just like
as standard out of the box, which is really rather nice. You can see these cables are going to
my
match
mind,
the theme I'm going for
trying
today.
to learn,
I've done loads
put together
of white
what I
builds on
think
the
is
channel
good and
recently,
what I
so
want.
having a black theme build is going to be quite nice. The good thing as well about
I don't
this power
really know
supply
what I
is it is
want
ATX
except for
3.1
a
and
good
PCIe
investment.
5.1. So if you need the new GPU power connector, it is actually going to give you that, whereas some power supplies won't do natively. Ironically, I don't think we actually do today, but it's still good to
I want a good
Moving on then to some of
investment.
the more interesting components, and I've already mentioned AMD's RX 9070
And something affordable.
but I haven't spoken about the CPU, AMD's Ryzen 5 9600X. When you look at the 9070 XT, in my opinion, you've got a couple of
It would
different
help
options.
a lot if I knew, for example, like the gens and what these numbers stand for and what, like for example, motherboards.
You can either go a bit more high-end,
are capable
go for a
and,
9800X3D or last gen 7800X3D. That's really beneficial if you're gaming at 40,
I don't even know how to
40p,
explain
but
it,
a
but
lot at 1080p too, where you're more bound by a CPU bottleneck. But actually, in this build, I'm going for all-round 1440p
I just
and
know that
4K gaming
the
performance.
better
I made a video
components,
recently talking about
the
is
longer you
NVIDIA's
can have it,
5070
and the better
Ti
investment it
dead?
is.
And you can go and find that video in the cards now. And what that's all about is the continual driver optimizations for the 9070 XT.
Well, I might have some
Make it
friends
better and better.
and like
Now,
some
looking at the
people
numbers,
in
you
my
can
family
see
that
how this
knows
GPU
a
has
lot
improved since
about
launch.
this stuff.
In Indiana Jones
But
and the Great Circle,
I haven't
it beats out the RTX
gotten to that
5070
point yet,
Ti.
right? Because I want to try to figure stuff out for myself and learn. You know,
Numbers, and you can see
this is it. Like, boom. Like looking at these charts, it like gives you the full
how
view on how much better this one is than the normal.
this GPU
And I mean,
has
it's
improved since launch.
cheaper.
In Indiana Jones and the Great Circle,
Kinda,
it beats
sorta.
out the RTX
Oh, look at
5070
Imagine having a 5090.
70
That's
Ti
like
by a
30,
pretty
40K.
substantial margin. In Call of Duty
3,
Black
4K,
Ops
I mean,
6 at 4K
American
high
US dollars.
rasterization, it performs
Insane.
really well, beating out even the RTX 5080. Hogwarts Legacy at 4K high sees an impressive 96 FPS to the 5070 Ti's 88. While finally, Marvel's Rivals again shows the RX 9070 XT performing really well and beating
But I guess if you have the graphics card and the processor, if you have that one set, then you can like check compatible parts
closest
to those
competition. The
parts.
9600X is
That's
currently
like a
on
major
offer on
part,
Newegg,
right?
and I think I saw it with the
Only story maybe
promo
it's kind
code
of
at like
second job to explain products.
$186. I'll leave latest price.
Yeah, but then they will start to explain, and first I gotta take my fat ass over there. Then I gotta know what questions to ask. Then I gotta be stressed about maybe there's a lot of people there, and I take up everyone's time, and then I gotta worry about not falling asleep because they talk too much, and then you know.
In for Newegg and
No,
Amazon,
thank you.
In various regions down below, so you can check that out. But even if we get a bit of a CPU bottleneck, for the money we're going to save, in my opinion, is
But I
worth
hear
it.
you.
I do want to
I
take
hear
a
you,
closer
no.
look at this Aorus design.
It is
as
their job.
Having looked at the measurements for this case, which I have done, I think it's going to be
I only see negative
tight. And that's
parts
because
about doing
this
that.
particular 9070 XT is on the larger side. Now, if I'm going to hover this into the
I mean,
case, you
I'm
should
not
be
in
able
a
to see what
real
I
hurry.
mean. Oh, yeah,
I might
that is
just like
tight.
do my
Oh, wow,
research,
okay.
do this
Yeah,
and
that's
that, like
tight.
ask
It
chat.
fits, but
Maybe
you,
you
can also
guys
see
know
why
something.
I've opted not to
You
put
tell me
the Lumen cooler
what's better,
at
what's
the
not.
front of the case,
You know,
because with that installed,
I'd
it
rather do
definitely
that.
wouldn't fit. So that's something to bear in mind. If you're looking at the Fractal Meshify 3,
It's more fun
the
as well.
clearances on it are actually quite tight. It's not a problem necessarily. You might want something a bit smaller, but definitely something you should keep in mind. In terms of the motherboard, this is Gigabyte's B850 Eagle Wi-Fi 6E. It's one of
That's
my
the point of
favourite
physical
B850
stores.
boards out there, and with it being Gigabyte, it should match
Well,
the GPU quite nicely.
guess, yeah.
GPU's Aorus, this is the Gigabyte like budget Eagle range, but it'll be fine. In terms of the
Doesn't
other
always
two
work that way, you
components,
know?
I think there's 2 bits left to talk about: the RAM and the SSD.
To be honest, I don't even think we have a physical store here. But I said I got contacts that know a little, that are geeks. Like my stepdad's friend, he had a store with these building PCs and all of that, right? And that's where I built my first, this PC I have now, many years ago. Yeah, now retired though.
Now, for the memory, I've gone a little bit more expensive. This G-Skill
I
Trident
got
Z5
geeks in my
Neo is
family
a
that know
reasonable
their
price
stuff,
by the
right?
time of filming this video.
I'd rather
with
do
a
that.
cast latency, this kit's actually
Than going to a store.
28, but to be honest, 30, 32 would still be fine. It's a pretty rapid kit. It's also got the AMD Expo profiles on that we, of course, want for.
There's a lot of memories. But as you see here, chat, DDR64 600, that means that the Crucial Pro, the higher this number is, the faster it is. But then you have the latency. Is that also? Or am I tripping? No, the lower it is. No. If I do that, bam, DDR5, 216, then I don't need anything else, right? And we do rating. Let's compare. We want latency. Lovagay, call up the stepdad for stream comp. Nah. Why are these so Is that a huge deal? It's 8 more. And it's higher. And it's way cheaper. Crucial Pro. Are these good, chat? Hatred? These are like... Is it... For example, it's... The speed is 6.4. Okay, I think... Okay, that's off. Is that good or bad? Then I'm looking at cast latency. It's higher than normal. Is that good or bad? Does it really affect that much. Then I look at nothing else pretty much, because yeah, the price of course and the rating means people are not buying them. Like, it's like, you know, how do I know? Am I overthinking it, or am I going to it the right way? Is what I'm thinking.
The memory in today's build. Storage wise, I've gone for Team Group's MP44L. Again, a drive we've used in a lot of builds.
That's 1 terabyte. Okay, so how? I'm not gonna lie, chat. I think this is interesting. Pro, boom, 4K, Samsung Pro, boom, 1 terabyte, 8 terabyte, Crucial, boom, 2 terabyte. That's an SSD. Okay, so you want SSD? I rating. Like that. Gigabyte, 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, Acer. Heatsink with heatsink. 2 terabyte Acer. Like, there's names never ever heard about. Gigabyte. Like, what's the difference? What is that? Cache. 2 terabyte. Like, what is that? What is that? Because then if you want a 2 terabyte SSD, you might just well buy this one. Like, what's the difference? You save like $100, no? Like, small things that adds up, I guess.
And always really rather liked it. This particular model here is, I believe this is the 2 terabyte, 1 terabyte? 2 terabytes, that's good, that's the one that I wanted. This is gonna cost you around that £100, $100 mark. 2 terabytes for me is about where you wanna be. 1 terabyte just fills up far too quickly. We're actually thinking of offering this build over on geekpc.com, which is our UK pre-building company. And on all of our builds over there, you can pick your storage, so you can have
higher equals more space, I'm assuming, so you'll need to spend more on other parts than easy. Yeah, more terabyte, but the other numbers.
1, you can have 2, you can have 4. Bit of a shameless plug, but you know,
Honestly, I don't even think
and I really appreciate all of the support.
it matters that much. I think that
if you don't want to build a PC
it does.
yourself, we're here to help. If you do want to build it yourself, the links are down below. First things first, I'm going to start by installing the CPU into the motherboard. You guys have seen this a million times already. I don't really remember the last time I installed an Intel processor in a build on the channel, which is actually kind of sad, really. I'm sure Intel will come back. You never know, maybe their Core Ultra 300 series will give us some feasible alternatives to chips like this, the Ryzen 5 9600X. I'm then going to follow up with the RAM or the memory. Now, as you'll see, we've got 4 slots in today's build. What we want to do is use the 2nd and the 4th RAM DIMM slots and just get the memory slid into place. This kit is quite big. There's quite a large heat spreader on here, so I need to make sure...
Z5. Trident. You're not that dumb. Wait. How do I say it? You don't look... You're not as dumb as I look. Paid links, Amazon. Is it US, UK, global? Boom, 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 boom. This one is like half the price that I want. Here it is, 400. I think I can get that one cheaper. Motherboard. I think this is sort of the one Asus TUF B50, B. Yeah, it's like the same, isn't it? And I got USB-C as well, which is perfect, yeah. How much is this one? It's like the same. Look at that! That's like 600. What the fuck? Yeah, no. And these as well. This one. Yeah, yeah, this one is MP44. Yeah. And this one is more expensive than what I can get it for. It's... Yeah, chat, those parts are more expensive here than they are over here. But I don't know what I've done to make this one this expensive. Oh, I think it's the processor. That's 2K. Either way.
That with the cooler, that's not going to cause any problems. We may have a last minute memory swap. Changing the cooler in this build from the liquid cooler to the air cooler kind of thrown off my other parts. Yeah, I guess you'll have to
I never heard of liquid cooler. I won't
find out. Saying that never works. I'm going to install the SSD into the top slot. It's toolless. This is so easy. Look at this. You just slide it in. There we go. Push it down. It clicks in, and then you add the heat spreader. It's literally so simple.
Heat spreader? Isn't it a heat sink?
And the final thing then on the motherboard is to actually install the CPU cooler. And I don't know if I've installed this cooler before. I know that we've tested it, hence some loose screws and things, but I don't know if I've actually installed this. Now then, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this otherwise, so I'll show you with my handheld fans. At this point, I'm going to put the cooler fans on. So let's do the middle one first, because we know there won't be any problems with this one. So we can get that in. Probably going to offset it slightly, just so that this one doesn't look weird. And then, this is the bit I'm nervous about. Is this going to look okay? So that's about the maximum it's going to go on. Yeah, I think that looks all right, actually. Maybe. So here's the thing. I think it looks okay, but I think it might look better with that other memory. So let's try swapping it out for a kit of non-RGB Corsair Vengeance, which is a lot lower profile and going to cause no problems whatsoever with fan interference. It's a sad moment, really, because I really like this memory, but it's got to be right, you know. It's got to look proportional. Yeah. I think that looks better. I think we're going to have to go with that. These fans are not completely straight, so I'm going to have to just kind of keep tweaking it.
I mean, do you want...
And I do want to show you guys as well how I wind these fans up, so you can see. To pop in the...
You want a liquid cooler, or do you want like of these?
Back is the GPU. Now, it is actually going to be quite tight, so you have to put it in
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Pause. That's 88. That's not bad. But it's like... No. The difference... Wait, I got... Let's search up. Because I got a computer... Oh, cool. This one. So we got NCXT Kraken. Elite 420. Okay, no. Bulk. doesn't. Asus ROG R. Okay, that is expensive. Corsair IQ Link. That's also expensive. And then you have Lian Li GA2. $360. I mean, either way, it's. Then you have MSI MAG Core Liquid. Wait, pause. This one is in the same. As. But you have this one. Thermal White Aqua Elite. Where's that on the? Nah. I mean. Anyway, chat. There's you can finesse a little bit the prices, and I feel like you gotta go in there day by day and actually yeah. Wait, Speed is doing his tour, huh? They survived when they heard a beat drop or die. Deluxe. Who's y'all's favorite artist, chat? Agent just rocked Pokemon's cat.
I'm so like, I don't want to disrespect her house, you know, but like, just know like if you bring up that nigga's name in the AMP house, things are breaking. Like we don't care in the house, you know, like. Andrea? Things like nothing stays calm after like those are. All right. My cat. No shot did.
Yes, it did. I swear to God.
What are the odds of that, dude?
Baby, you scared her.
Kobe.
He said, I don't want to disrespect the house. Boo-boo at the cat. What the hell? Oh, Mimi.
What type of food is this?
She's actually.
Meat. Poison. Tea. Wait. Top 10 open glass computer cases. I mean, I think you can't be. Yeah, chat. I think I found my case. This one. Yeah. Most open. Yep. Never mind then. What? Clav had to end stream after Kick Support sent him a warning for having Circa on stream. Hey there, Clav. We hope this mission finds you well. We're ready to kind of ask for a moment of your time to check your emails inbox. Thanks for advice.
Yeah. Oh no. If I check your email?
Who's Circa?
Oh no. Check my email. Okay, hold on.
Got the call.
Oh, for the Zerka call?
Ah, dude, come on. Fuck. Alright, let's check the email. Fucking hell. Wait, breach of community guidelines?
Was it banned? Ah, Eddie, come on.
You know what? Then we're gonna end the stream.
XEO Eddie reveals gambling content made Great stream is fall of hurting the Overwatch hours kick growth. Why is Pirate on?
One of our
Fucking with Pirate. With Pirate. Why is it so big? Chat, I'm thinking, do we jump in, play Overwatch, or do we play a little bit of Wait, I want to check out Diablo 4 content. Diablo 4 content, chat. Can you remind me of that after we watch?
Jag fattar. Räntor är kanske inte det roligaste. Men att betala mer än du behöver, det är faktiskt värre. Jämför räntor på...
Oh, I was not expecting you.
What's in my fridge? Pass Skyler.
I'll show you what my fridge and my gym looks like.
Where's Cape
Alright,
Town,
let's
chat?
see what's in that fridge.
Alright, this is my fridge. My fridge is gonna be pretty wild right now. Usually my fridge is really simple, but I'll have like one thing in there that's random because it's like ingredients for a dish that I want to cook.
How many meals do you eat in a day?
Usually about one.
That bothers me so much.
One and a snack. I usually wake up, I'll train, and then I'll have my first meal, which will be like post.
Lord of Hatred. Pre-purchase. Wait, yeah, Vessel of Hatred, Lord of Hatred. That's Vessel of Hatred, okay. So if how much is this? Purchase a... Why am I not... Gap 4, H. Bro, chat, why am I not... Lord of Hatred. Expansions. Does that mean... Because I don't have Vessel. Maybe I get early access to the new Paladin class today. Ooh. Does that mean... Fuck. Vessel of Hatred. I never bought this. Does anyone know if do I need to buy Vessel of Hatred and Lord of Hatred to have everything, or is it fine with just getting Lord of Hatred and I'll get It's really decent in darkness. The Age of Hegel is the best way to begin the bundle. Instant unlocks the Diablo 4 base game. Vessel of Hatred expansion includes the upcoming Lord of Hatred expansion release. I have no interest in. A bit of latest card. Let me unlock more. Okay, so if I buy that, I can't because I already have it. Right. It's gotta be why. Alright. Learn more. Mephisto! Yeah! Campaign summaries. 2 new classes. Wait, so why people are playing Paladin is because of this expansion? Yeah, it's gotta be right.
The path to domination. The path to domination is paved with the souls of the willing. Soon, all of Sanctuary will be bathed in hatred. And none shall escape the flood. Mephisto, you shall darken the world no longer.
Brutal, I like it.
There will be those who believe that they alone can stand against the inevitable. I invite them to try.
Badass. That's freaking badass.
You would have no.
You can't tell me otherwise. Boom! 2 new classes. Paladin class trailer. Okay, what the frick is... Great one. Boom. Shield bash. There we have it. Vessel of Hatred included. It's included with this one. I got my answer. Why was it so freaking hard to find that? Holy Warlock. Now I just want to know what's like the PC requirements. Legion Unleash. Wait. Or wield the holy light. Then it appears form of light, ascending angelic form, gaining high divine speed, righteous clarity, multiple flows. With your faith, unrelenting fury, so rushes headlong into battle, river favorite the Judgicator rain down celeste punishment from above. Calm the bottom of holy resilience. Unleash an endless tide of demonic onslaught. The Legion will always battlefield with expanded horror, summoning swarms of hellspawns to drop enemies in chaos. Each create his weapon. Breakfast color is step for domination. Lead from the front of the destruction. The Vanguard Warlock dies, healing the battle, swimming to hulking monster. Yeah, so that's like the transformation. This one is like the pet. Sort of, kind of. Into hulking monsters, that commands demons through sheer force of will, breathing hellfire. You become the spirit of annihilation. Mastermind, controller. What are these? Am I missing something new? Control the fight from the shadows. The mastermind expert precise dominion over demons and enemies alike. Manipulating the battlefield through fear, especially in the color of distraction. Mastermind and Legion goes hand in hand, huh? Ritualist weave through forbidden rites, advice ritual. Spells, right? Payoffs. New region. Finish the fight. New region. Skill item upgrade. The cube. Endgame. New endgame, chat. Got a new endgame. Major updates for all Diablo 4 players. Yeah, new skill tree. Includes Vessel of Hatred. Instant unlock in game rewards. Free purchase. Vapor of Hatred Standard Edition instant lock Paladin early access Diablo along the first expansion Vessel of Hatred. Oh. Okay, that's my earrings. What is this? Something from the job. AI file JPEG. Save that. What is this? MG code slicer 3D. That's how it works. Will I ever use that? I don't know. It's like my truck card. Do I need that? I don't need that anymore. No. Oh, much more space. Yeah, it's interesting that games nowadays like have implemented different payment options. Like alright, so now for example, how the fuck did that work? There it is. What if I start to download the game now, huh? Says I bought it. Yeah. Let's see in 2 days, I guess. Let me. That I'll be back in 2 sec. Quick break. Chat. 1-2. Oh, getting myself some coffee. And some sandwiches. That's what I'm doing. And I got 2 packages tomorrow that I gotta drive by and turn in. I do. How do I open these? Oh fuck. Ruin it? Oh, like that. I see. Boom. And same with this one, I assume? Yeah. I like that. They've done a great job. Perfect. Then we got the cheese. Boom. Oh, I fucked up, chat. I was too... Damn it. Oh no. You know when you microwave and you accidentally have it on the highest heat? And yeah. Letting it speak for itself. It's fine. It's very fine. Not fine. Very awesomely fine. Warm butter. Chat, who loves warm butter? I sure don't. It's just soggy. Weird. Right? Feel me? Soggy and weird. Ah, shit. Who's it? Ah, shit. Here we go again. That's how we say it, right? Diablo 4. That if you find like system requirements somewhere, somehow, please let me know. Because I want to know if my computer able to handle like all the you know. There we go. Boom. Boom. Oh shit. Here we go again. Boom. Where was I? Did I even... I didn't, right? Here we were. Yep. Yep. And we stopped here. Okay. Gotcha. Developer. Impressive character development. Can I not see this? Expensive open world. Boom. This is Spiritball. I never played it. Paladin. Boom. Yeah, this is, yeah. Here it is. Wait. Minimum. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. At least I hope so. Did we see this one?
How can knowledge be evil if it saves a soul? Should a king tell us how to fight? The church, they uphold the light while we die in the shadows. I denounce the light. I now seek power in the primal, salvation in unholy scripture.
I am a heretic. I break the bones of the damned, build altars of blood to call the darkness.
Walked amongst demons, found strength in shadow, kinship and madness. Damn the light! I will suffer my own path. I will learn the foul ways of a forbidden tongue.
He's also a warlock, no?
To bind them
different type of warlock
as a tool of my vengeance. Brandus traitor, outlaw, warlock.
Damn.
Let them hang us for what we've done.
When darkness comes for us, it will see hell screaming back.
Thick. Cinema.
Prova en krämig ost och skinkpaj eller någon annan av Felix goda lunchrätter.
Gameplay? Gameplay? You say gameplay?
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the official Warlock Deep Dive. We're excited to get into the details, including some backstory, their visual and archetype design, and mechanics. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, I'm JP Reimiller, Associate Art Director for Diablo 4, and I'm really excited to be here sharing more about the Warlock, its story, and the visual design that brings it to life. When we started talking about the Warlock, the very first thing we aligned on was that this character stands fully unleashed at the height of their strength. Warlock is not a clean hero, not someone who's throwing fireballs from a safe distance and walking away
like
spotless,
a mage,
but rather a dark caster who's made a very conscious decision to use demons as tools. The Warlock emerges from the shadows as a practitioner of forbidden arts, shaped by the dark legacy of the Vizrai, haunted by demons, burdened with infernal insight, and feared by pretty much everyone. They have a presence about them that takes over the room. They've been through so much and have so much power that you both want to run with them and are scared of them. They've come from a really corrupt history. They've seen hell up close. And because of that, the way they summon demons isn't elegant or ceremonial. It's violent. You're ripping something out of hell against its will and forcing it into sanctuary. You don't always know what you might get, and that struggle between this dark evil and the hero you are is core to the fantasy. What I love about the Warlock is that they sit right on that line between hero and something a little more dangerous. They're trying to save sanctuary, but they're willing to do things that no one else will. There's no regret about collateral damage. It's very much, I don't have a choice. This has to be done. And we wanted that to come through not just in the spells, but in how they move, how they stand, how they occupy space. They can take a hit and hit back in ways we've never done before in the Diablo game. That's really the heart of the class. You're asserting dominance over hell itself, and everything about the Warlock, narratively, visually, and mechanically, reinforces that idea. When we were figuring out the visual direction for the Warlock, we knew pretty early on we didn't want them to feel like a traditional fantasy caster. No flowing robes, no pristine silhouettes, no fancy elegance. The touchstones we kept coming back to were rebellion and metal. That feeling of someone who's been through hell.
The art, man.
And came back changed by it.
Whoever
Visually, we wanted the Warlock to feel intimidating. To be honest, a lot of that inspiration comes from metal music culture. It's loud and aggressive, and that idea translated really naturally into how the Warlock moves, how they cast, how they carry themselves. This is someone who's walked the edge for a long time. Like if someone microdosed soul shards until they found the right amount. So we leaned into the color vibe of working in a machine shop and having the oil and dirt on you. There's grit in the materials, texture in the surfaces, and weight in the way everything hangs off the body. Nothing feels ornamental for ornament's sake. They're not trying to look heroic. They look the way they do because that's what surviving hell does to you. Everything visually is there to support that story. Layered atop this is a visual design where strong demonic colors of VFX intertwine with physical motion that sets the stage for their lore as a caster, who bends demons and infernal forces to their will, giving the class an otherworldly presence. There's a unique aspect to how we crafted this hero. Character art was a huge part of this class from the beginning. With so many assets needed to be created for the demons, we had to work closely as a feature team to pair all the visual elements of VFX, animation, and character art to help make the demons feel a part of the class in a way that succinctly flowed through the Warlock's visual design. With a balanced approach to animation and VFX, the demonology, shadow, and fire bring that raw, unfiltered power to life in the Warlock. Every moment is deliberate, heavy, and echoes the physical toll of wielding hell's energy. When you cast, you're forcing something into existence, and the visuals match that intensity. Our effects team went all in to make Warlock feel unique, with a strong identity rooted in danger. Summoning demons is an eruption of hell-forged energy, fire, and twisted light. We wanted the VFX to accentuate the animation with a focus on feel and movement. That's why when you see the skills, they are crafted with aggressive shapes and relentless motion. Whether it's tearing open a portal or binding a demon,
slice and dice.
you always
Bam.
get a sense of chaos
Douche.
barely held in check, and the battlefield transforms with every cast.
Gameplay overview.
Warlock
Very well.
is a willpower-based class, focused on dominating the battlefield. They use two different resources, Wrath to bring chaotic destruction, and Dominance to summon powerful demons. To define the Warlock as a class, we focus on what it will empower players to do, and how they will interact with the world. First, you create. You're constantly bringing things into the world. demons, demon parts, manifestations of hell. For example, you might command Fallen to path through the environment. Or you might block off areas with Wall of Agony, actively shaping the battlefield with your summoned creations. Then you control. A lot of your power comes from deciding where those demons go, how long they stay alive, and what state they're in. You're controlling the battlefield by positioning and commanding demons while locking down enemies. This is where Warlock is really able to flex its willpower and feel a sense of deliberate domination. You could order the Tortured Wretch to taunt foes into reckless attacks, or direct the Profane Sentinel to blast your chosen target. Every action is an announcement of your authority over the chaos you've summoned. And finally, you combo. Almost nothing exists in isolation. You're encouraged to chain interactions, summon something, modify it, consume it, detonate it, or use it to empower the next action. The system rewards you for thinking a step ahead. Kill both enemies and demons swiftly with bombardment, fueling Sigil of Summons to unleash the next wave of demons. What's important is that these layers feed into each other. Creating gives you options. Control lets you shape those options, and comboing turns them into a payoff. So the Warlock isn't just executing a single fixed rotation. It's about building a small ecosystem in combat, and then deciding how aggressively or how cleverly you want to collapse it. The core idea behind Soul Shards is really about transformation, saying, I'm not just summoning demons anymore, I'm actually incorporating hell into myself. With the Soul Shard system, you fuse a demon straight into your body. Picking a Soul Shard is the rulebook for everything you do in-game, shaping your powers and how you play from the ground up. You choose from 4 primary
There
shards.
it is.
Each shard represents a fundamentally different playstyle direction, mutating your character by stealing powers from hell and your bound demon. Each primary shard does 2 major things. First, it grants a demon. Each primary shard does 2.
Casting a greater demon skill increases lesser demon skill cast speed by 25% and cooldown rate by 20% for 10 seconds. When 50 of your lesser demons die, your next greater demon skill cast matters.
Major things. First, it grants a transformative playstyle passive that alters your core gameplay loop.
That's
how you summon demons, how you control them, and how you chain effects together.
Freaking
Second,
sick.
It binds a specific demon pet to you, directly tied to the shard's identity. Within each primary shard, you
Wait, you have major, it's like glyphs. Major and minor. Agram now possibly spawns a wild child lesser demon every 1 second. Summon a greater demon increase this spawn rate by 50% for a second up to 150 additional stacks. Do not refresh the command. Agram no longer spews wild children and instead cause all of your lesser demons to explode.
then select one of 3 fragment sub-options. Fragments act as specialization layers.
That means that these minor fragments are like 3 times 4. What's 3 times 4? It's 12. Yeah, got 12 options.
Don't change what the shard is, but they absolutely change how it
You're unstoppable as long as you have active lesser when you will become crowded.
behaves, what you prioritize, what resources you lean on, and how your abilities.
While enemy is eviscerated, your summon demons, prioritize them, and gain increased movement speed.
Interact. The result is that the shards open up new and unique transformative options for how you interact with the world and your demons. When you see a warlock in action, you can tell what they chose, not because of a tooltip, but because of how their gameplay unfolds.
Yep, that's cool.
One of the big
I like that.
pillars of the warlock is that although you're a summoner of hell, these entities are not behaving like conventional pets. Most summons are temporary. Warlocks brutally discard them once they have served their purpose. But with a soul shard, you choose to persistently bind one of 4 powerful demons to supercharge your playstyle. With Legion, the focus is on biological demon generation. This demon specializes in spawning physical demonic bodies into the world. Mechanically, that gives you more entities to control, reposition, and chain together, which supports builds that scale through volume and chaotic pressure. Here you have the demon Agram, who embodies this chaotic approach. Using its spit command, Agram can unleash corrosive projectiles across the battlefield that burst into smaller demons on impact. As you command Agram and other lesser demons, their deaths fuel your power to summon greater demons. Every spawned lesser demon serves as a resource, amplifying your summoning potential and enabling more dramatic, high-impact plays. The system encourages you to continuously generate, sacrifice, and leverage these demonic minions, creating a feedback loop where the chaos you unleash becomes the fuel for even more formidable monsters to join your legion. Vanguard shifts the system towards mobility and frontline presence. The fiery steed Abodian functions as an aggressive, speedy means of closing gaps. It's designed for players who want to push forward, create openings, and apply pressure through motion. With Abodian's charge, the Warlock surges across the battlefield in a blaze of hellfire.
That's like a speed
along and instantly repositioning for the next attack. Mastermind moves things in a more control-oriented direction. The devouring shadow demon Lalish undermines your enemies and attacks on your command. It favors players who enjoy planning ahead and creating layered outcomes. Executing Lalish's Terror Realm consumes foes while cloaking the Warlock in Shadow Flow, allowing you to remain hidden while issuing direct commands to your abyssal demons. This devastating maneuver lets you orchestrate surprise assaults, manipulating enemy placement and inflicting terror. The synergy between Shadow Form and Abyss Demon control turns the battlefield into your personal chessboard.
Yep. Nice.
Ritualist is deliberately different. This demon exists primarily as a sacrificial resource. You're siphoning power from it to generate bursts of strength, trading an offensive pet for spikes in your damage and efficiency. When you channel the might of Valak, you're tapping into a wellspring of forbidden magic. By draining Valak's essence, you can unleash empowered spell combos, like trapping enemies in shadowy confinement with Dark Prison before detonating the battlefield with Hell Fractures. Valak's unique bond supercharges your occult, Hellfire, and Abyss abilities, making every cast more devastating and allowing your Warlock to bend the materials of Hell to their will in moments of explosive power. Hopefully you can see how picking your bound demon is more than just window dressing. It's the linchpin that turns every fight into your personal stage.
What sets the Warlock apart is the sheer freedom you have to define your power. There are countless ways to customize your skills, and every level unlocks new options that let you reshape your build on the fly. Many of the Warlock's most iconic abilities don't just have a single expression. They can be radically reshaped through variants that change how the power manifests in combat. Each variant pushes the ability in a distinct direction, letting you lean into overwhelming chaos, precise command, or personal dominance. Whether you're amplifying demonic force, directing it with intent, or consuming it to become the weapon yourself, these variants ensure that every major summon reflects your chosen playstyle and reinforces how you want your Warlock to engage in the battlefield. Let's dive right into the Warlock skill variants. Rampage. You unleash a rampaging demon brute onto the battlefield, a living engine of chaos that smashes through anything unlucky enough to stand in its way. Abyssal Titan. The demon brute becomes an abyssal titan, larger and imbued with the shadows of hell.
This is what you can choose.
You directly order this brute to perform devastating leap attacks. Demonic Smash. You consume the brute's power, gaining demon form and allowing you yourself to jump into the battlefield.
That's cool.
Sigil of Summons. Perform occult rituals to summon additional demons.
That's also
Customize
cool.
how you perform this ritual and what comes out. Summon Succubus. Summon 2 greater succubi that inflict terrible, terrible shadow damage. Summon Hellworm. Summon a Hellworm that mimics your own demon summoning even more demons. Fiend of Abaddon. You summon a towering demon juggernaut, wielding a massive hell-forged greatsword that cleaves through the battlefield in unstoppable arcs of destruction. Abyssal Colossus. You may now order the Fiend to perform an enormous 2-fisted smash that pulls in enemies. Vanguard of Flames.
Is these the
Fiend
ultimates?
is now bound directly to you, moving with you and allowing you to charge into battle with it. This is especially cool with the Rampage Demonic Smash variant, since you can leap yourself with this Fiend attached to you.
Yep.
We're so excited for all of you to shape your Warlock playstyle with your own devastating abilities and unique variants. The options are as dynamic as they are powerful. Dive deep and discover the combinations that unleash your true potential. That wraps up our Warlock Deep Dive for now. Thank you to our incredible community for your ongoing passion and enthusiasm. Your
yeah. First look intro gameplay.
Hate has poisoned this world, and only Akarat can save us from it.
Why do I want to watch this? When the game drops in 2 days. Huh? I only got Vessel of Hatred, chat. How do I... I want to download it. I want to download it.
Arc, if you're able to be a professional Apex player, I think those players are all capable of playing every other game. Apex as a whole is one of the hardest mechanical games to play, to track, to move, to deal with controller play.
Is it?
If you're ever wondering how to write a song, here's how I write mine. First, I need a rhythm, so I'll go with something like... Okay. And I like to write in the key of A, so next you're gonna need some chords. And so we'll just mess with that. I like that. That's B minor, F sharp minor, A. Let's spice it up. A sus chord at the end. So now we got like the bones work of the song, but we still need lyrics and melodies, so just hum something, whatever comes to your mind. Okay, now that you got your melody, I think I like that. Just go ahead and write whatever's in your head. If you're ever...
Is that... Yeah. Gotta be a chorus, and then when the verses, you gotta switch things up, huh? Girlies, slay.
Some random person told me.
Do you have any idea how much?
What do I do? Gotta be the one next to you. Edison's kick has had massive breakthroughs in their anti-bot defense in its discussion with Pyrosoft. Don't want to speak too soon, but 3-4 days ago we got some massive wins on that front. We're gonna wait to see final result.
I've actually had a really good experience. Like once we got our bot detection running, that was like the first thing I had to do. So, but that is the toughest thing to beat, man. That is always going to be so difficult.
I don't want to speak too soon, but 3-4 days ago we got some massive wins on that front, and we're gonna wait to get see the final results. But some really big wins on some of the
Twitch needed that as well.
We were struggling with, and I don't want to say anything because I might
Sadly, that's the norm nowadays, isn't it?
End up just
Bots.
jinxing it. But yeah,
All that.
we got some massive breakthroughs there. So looking
Correct
forward
me if I'm wrong, but
to not seeing as many complaints on that front as we've previously seen.
Yep.
Chad, have you seen what? I don't know what I was gonna say, but I was gonna say something. What was it? Typical me, man. Already seen that one. What can I say? What can I? Chat. If you take one PC component and look like that. Looking at it from this angle, right? Take for example RAM specifically. Oh, today new in stock, it's cheap, boom, get that one. Another day, boom, now we got RAM, let's do SSD, boom, boom. Like you're focusing on different components. Is that the way to go? Or no? Do I have enough? Yeah, I need a bigger drive, chat. See.
Diablo 4 is changing.
Riker,
Hey folks,
hit me
this
with
is
it.
Riker, and we just got the dev stream for Lord of Hatred with the expansion launching next Tuesday or Monday. If you're
Tuesday.
a little further west, we got the full reveal of the different time zones in
12
which
a.m.
the game will be launching. On top of that, this dev stream was loaded with information, a lot of which was stuff that we already knew if we've been following literally every single update and every review and every bit of information. Otherwise, there was some new reveals as well, but this was a huge one to digest. They also released a blog thereafter. We're going to just start rapid fire hitting things. First off, overlay map. We're getting an overlay map. Those of you who've been wanting this for the longest time, it is here. It is also very customizable. Opacity, color, zoom. Within the new charm system, there is a way to extract a unique power and insert it into a charm, and you can then equip that unique power in your charm slot. Now, this isn't all the stats on the unique. It seems to be specifically the unique power, but nonetheless, this is very similar to the Kanai's cube in Diablo 3. Extract the legendary power back then and have it passively equipped to not interfere with your existing itemization slots. We won't get into story too much, but just one quick non-spoiler narrative thing to say. It sounds as though one of the themes being hit upon with the story of Lord of Hatred is the idea of what's the point in killing these primevals when they just keep coming back. So that's something that was being dug into by our protagonists. So maybe we're killing Mephisto once and for all. Hard to believe. We also learned a bit more about the sets. Again, sets are being introduced into the game not in itemization slots, but rather in the talisman, the charm slots. So that solves a lot of the issues that we've had with sets previously. And it sounds like set items are things you will be finding from early game, but in the pre-torments, they're going to be more general and less powerful. And then once you get into torment, sets are going to become class specific, harder to find, and will deliver a bold fantasy unlocking new archetypes. We saw one example of a druid set that's all about a bear companion. Of course, Lord of Hatred is bringing the Horadric Cube, which is opening up crafting in an enormous
Isn't
way.
that the
all
cube?
the myriad things that we'll be able to craft in Lord of Hatred. I mean, it is completely transformative. For those who felt that Diablo 4 was not a good crafting
That's
game,
what I
and
thought,
point
like,
to other
cube,
games,
like
whether
the
it's
cube
Path of
you had in
Exile
Diablo
or
3
Last
is
Epoch
coming
as better
to Diablo
crafting
4.
games. At this point, Diablo 4 has become a full-on crafting game with so many robust crafting options.
I guess
The
I was
cube is
wrong, though.
completely transformative of how we're going to play the game. Not only are there specific recipes of things to do that we've seen, but there are also materials we can find that can further tune our craft outcomes. Again, very similar to how other games do this. So D4 is now very competitive in that regard. We learned that the Horadric Cube will have secret recipes to discover. Also, quick note, those who like Sanctification, it's effectively coming back in the form of Transfiguration with the cube. Not quite as powerful, but it sounds like with Transfiguration, you're not locked to a one and done thing. You can transfigure multiple times. One of our favorite outcomes from Sanctification was getting a unique power, and it sounds like first of all, they were removing that entirely, but it sounds like they're keeping it now as an amulet specific.
Use influence. Removes the riskiest, but also the most powerful outcomes. Has a chance to make an item on more difficult cube in all planes.
So instead of being able to be decked out fully
Doesn't
across
say
all of our
anything.
gear in, crazy
Oh,
powers,
wait.
we'll still be able to get boosts, of course, but it sounds like at least the amulet slot is where we can stack on another unique effect. It's unclear. They said that you can do it with mythics as well. I'm not sure if they meant you can imprint onto a mythic amulet or if they meant you can imprint a mythic power onto an amulet. I hope it's the latter, actually, because that was quite an exciting thing to do, is to get a mythic sanctification outcome was like the jackpot awesome moment to chase for. Now, one thing that they really wanted to stress was with
Like,
the...
if I understand that correctly, it's like a safety thing when using the cube to change your prefix and affix, right?
Updates to the skill tree. One thing we've seen ever since the Spiritborn released, and it was like the best designed class, and then the Paladin released, and it was the best designed class. Spiritborn was still very well designed, but Paladin even a little bit more so, and from my experience with the Warlock, the best designed class again. And so you have Warlock, Paladin, and even the Spiritborn are kind of in a class of their own, no pun intended, with all the other classes lagging behind in their designs, lots of outdated systems in their design. And I was like, okay, could we like maybe once a season get a revamp of the old classes, get Barbarian 2.0 in season 13, Rogue 2.0 season 14. In Lord of Hatred, we are getting all old classes 2.0. Every old class is getting love and getting updated in a way that the team feels they are being brought up to par with Paladin and Warlock.
Amazing.
Now, one thing that I said after playing Warlock
Absolutely
was
amazing.
Necromancer no longer has a reason to exist anymore because the Warlock was just the better summoner. It sounds like they're making a lot of changes to Necromancer that's going to make it a lot more, in fact, like the Diablo 3 Necromancer in a good way.
Which was...
so, for instance,
I don't remember.
the Skeletal Mage now operates like the Diablo 3 Skeletal Mage in many ways. Take a step back right now. So first off, your Skeletal Mage and your Command Skeleton are now in your skill tree. They are skills that you can invest points into and customize that way, as opposed to through the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead gives you further customization, but now these are just things you can put skill ranks into. And so Skeletal Mage is now a core skill. Your Skeletal Mages last indefinitely, but there's a Singularity rune, Diablo 3, cough cough, that instead of summoning multiple Skeletal Mages, you're going to summon a single short-lived mage. As for Skeletal Warriors, again, they operate just like in Diablo 3, where they are passively raised from nearby corpses, and I believe you can actively command them as well by activating the skill, just like in
Like
Diablo
a real
3, just like we
necromancer.
have always
Like-
asked for active command of our
No.
skeletons. And while the skill tree is losing all passives, including the key passives, which are really cool. They say fear not, because basically all of our favorite key passives and passives are being moved into reimagined legendary aspects. Now, the Druid skill tree is getting some special attention in that you can actually, for some skills, customize which form is activated with that skill. And depending on which form you select, that also modifies what the skill does slightly. And that doesn't cost an extra skill point to choose that. Basically, it means if you want to be nothing but a werewolf, you could more easily remain in werewolf form by changing that, base or core skill that would normally turn you into a bear or into a human by clicking the variant that keeps you in werewolf form. We got a few more details on war plans. War plans are the new end game that lets you chain together your favorite activities and customize them. You can have up to a total of 5
This is the new end
activities
game, huh?
within your war plan. You can teleport directly to that activity, and if you don't have a key for that activity, it doesn't matter. That's actually a crazy thing. That is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new addition. So we don't have to find the key to do the war plan. The war plan will effectively generate the key for us. If you do happen to find a key and you just want to run that activity on your own and not do it through the war plan, you can always do that, but war plan gives you the key for free. The idea of the war plan is really to keep you in a flow state of going from one activity to the next, and then you go claim your rewards in town. Each activity in the game is going to have its own skill tree that you're advancing and customizing. You're going to have 7 points to allocate to customize your endgame activity. Each endgame activity gets its own 7 points in its own separate skill tree. Now, there's one thing that was still kind of unclear, and it has to do with war plans and multiplayer. Now, based on reviews that have been releasing, it sounded as though war plans don't interact well with multiplayer. That's what some of the reviewers were saying, that basically that the party leader, it's his war plan and he completes his war plan activities. But when asked this question during the Q&A, the devs seem to suggest that in a party, even if it's not your war plan, you still get a reward cache and a chunk of the reward and progression in your...
That's how it always should be. And isn't that like the common case about a lot of other games that like it's not shared? It should be shared progress,
tree.
right?
So
shared progress.
It could be what they're saying is that you don't get to advance your war plan
kind of
itself,
sucks.
But
that's what you want to do, right?
Nonetheless, progression in your activity tree, which sounds like a fair enough compromise. So I don't know if this was a change that was either made immediately after the reviews came out, or if it was maybe the reviewers didn't quite understand that they were still getting a significant reward. But I guess we'll find out for sure next week. We got more details on fishing. Fishing is going to be a very laid-back collection activity. You unlock it early in Scovos. It's apparently more fun with friends because you can trade your fish with each other. It's really just like a collection activity. There's like no point or benefit to doing it. It's just if you want to engage with it, you can. It's not intended to be enforced upon everyone. And it sounds like you can fish anywhere where you would expect to find fish, and even some places that might surprise you. That they even hinted at the end, who knows what else lurks beneath the sea, so I don't know what to expect from that. The level cap is being raised from 60 to 70. The Paragon cap is not increasing from 300. They do expect more people to reach the cap.
What else can you do with the fishing, though?
Moving forward, with all the changes being made, there are more Torment levels up to Torment 12. Do check back tomorrow for an interview in which we discuss Torment 12 and what this means for the game. The loot filter that they're adding is super granular, very customizable. You will not see anything appear on the mini-map, however. You can't customize that, but you can really dig down into filtering things out. They are removing the auto-salvage of white, blue, and yellow gear at higher torments because now there is a purpose for all of these items to drop. They can serve as crafting bases within the cube. Of course, you can choose to filter them out with your loot filter if you want to.
Salando.
They've even added pathfinding as an option. If you don't want to have to be looking at your minimap, you can have little dots on the ground to follow to take you to your objective. Now, it sounds like the Season of Reckoning is launching at the same time as the expansion, but that there's no season theme. So it sounds like, I think it was what they did in Season 4 or 5, where there was no content specific to the season apart from the season rank. They're actually giving us an even bigger season rank. There's like, I think, 2 additional ranks to go through. There's like over 100 objectives or something. I totally don't mind that there's no season theme because we already have so much new stuff to experience. To toss a season theme on top of that would be a bit overwhelming. And the devs are saying that with the amount of stuff in the game now and the number of different permutations of builds and of war plan and game customization, that it is effectively impossible to try out all the permutations of different things that you can experience in just one season. On unique items, they have reduced the number of always fixed affixes. I actually don't like this, but we'll see, I guess, how it plays out. So uniques aren't unique anymore. Uniques have their unique power, but it seems like the affixes, maybe some will be locked, but a lot of them can be randomly generated. That means more fishing for uniques. However, now we can temper onto uniques as well as onto mythics, so that's interesting. They've apparently completely overhauled tempered affixes.
I don't know what he's talking about.
200
I haven't played this game for I don't know how long.
Weapon gem effects are going to be much stronger. They're also giving us higher tier gems. As a quality of life updates, items in our inventory can now stack
going
up
into this game, bro, there's gonna be so much to learn again.
In general, they're really trying to reduce the stash bloat. I'm glad, because I was really getting concerned seeing all the new crafting materials we have for the cube, thinking that this was going to become a giant nightmare, but they're actually doing quite a bit to reduce stash bloat. So they're reducing the number of lair keys, for instance. All lair bosses now use the same lair key, and all greater lair bosses use the same lair key. They're removing incense and elixirs from the game. I'm so happy about this. I asked for this. I've been opposed to these from day one. I've always hated them. And to account for the loss of that, they've upped the amount of XP we get from monsters. So basically, incense and elixir is mostly used to just get more XP. So now we're just going to get more XP without having to maintain that. One great thing about the loot filter, you can indeed. They've built the functionality to export and import loot filters. So if you don't want to go through all the trouble of customizing one, I'm sure you can go to maxroll.gg or your favorite website and just download and install a loot filter.
And you're set.
Every lair boss will now have its own dedicated pool of uniques. So it sounds like there's no more overlap. The Butcher's being added as a greater lair boss. Bartuk and Astaroth are being added as regular lair bosses. Lord Zir is now 1 click away instead of the 2 clicks away. Runes have been streamlined. They've gotten rid of a lot of the runes that no one uses. So now, again, something I've been asking for, all runes now fit inside the consumable inventory. There's no more overflow. That's great. And runes have also found their way into every single cube recipe. So just in general, across the board, they're trying to give us more ways to use all the things that we find so that we're not like, well, have nothing to do with these, blue tributes. Now you can upgrade blue and rare tributes into higher rarity tributes. So they're all, the design philosophy is to encourage us to make use of everything we have and not just hold on to it and hoard it infinitely or drop it on the ground and have nothing to do with it. They have massively overhauled the pit. Every pit now is 5 floors. I'm super happy about that. They've redesigned how the pit levels generate, so the layouts ought to be a lot better. They seem to be informed from the tower, and I love the layouts of the tower map, so that's great. There's going to be fewer dead ends. Also now, nearly every environment can spawn as the pit, including outdoor environments. There's new layouts in the pit that you won't find anywhere else in the game. They've removed death and resurrection penalties from the pit. Almost every variant of monster can now be found in the pit. Progress is going to scale better. Tougher monsters will give better rewards. Treasure goblins can invade the pit and they can drop loot. So like now sometimes you can get loot to drop in the pit. The boss will now spawn on top of you once you fill the progress meter, just like in Diablo 3, just like in the tower. And they've also brought in the roster of bosses that were added just to the tower. Those can now spawn in the pit. I miss so much. So overall, for those who found pit like monotonous and boring, it sounds like so many updates have been made there. And again, check my interview tomorrow for even more details on the pit.
Okay, I get it.
For the tower, they've settled that the tower is only going to release a couple days after a season starts now going forward, to give a couple of days time to fix anything that's immediately broken. So it sounds like they want the tower to launch on Thursdays if the season starts on Tuesdays. They're adding now finally rewards into the tower. Sounds like there's currencies you can earn. There's lore books, all stuff that you can only get via climbing the tower. And it sounds like it's first time completion of higher tiers within the tower will unlock those things. We're also going to get now snapshotting of builds. So when you inspect someone's run in a tower, it's going to show you the exact build they used for that run, not whatever they're wearing right now. We're getting new environments, new bosses, new monsters in the tower. So, folks, that about wraps up the chat. Again, tons of information and a lot to digest. And again, folks, tomorrow, do stay tuned. I have an interview coming up with a deeper dive on some of the topics of, again, difficulty.
A lot of new stuff. A lot of new. Best CPU, GPU combos right now.
Veckans deals är här.
Elgiganten.
Välkommen till Elgiganten.
Okay, so you've decided that even with the current uncertainty around PC part below. Now, before diving into the top CPU and GPU combos right now, it's worth making a quick point about the current state of we go. I'm going to start off with my cheapest combo first of all. And at launch MSRP prices, this has a total cost of $409 US. I'm glad to report, as you can see, that the current price of this combo is actually below MSRP, which is something we're going to discuss in a moment. Now, I'm calling this combo the combo that I really don't want you to buy, but
best combo for 1080p.
But what if you've got a bit more money to spend and actually want to see what I would class as really good value for money? Well, that's where my next combo comes into play, powered by what could be a controversial GPU choice. There could be a lot of that in today's video, so let me explain why I'll be recommending the RX 9060 XT 8GB card paired with an AMD Ryzen 5 5500. Now, I'm sticking here with the last gen CPU to give you access to that cheaper DDR4 memory and combining it with AMD's cheapest GPU.
Why is it
Now, obviously, in an ideal world, my more of a difference.
Which one is it I'm looking at? This one?
Now, obviously, in an ideal world, my next combination, which is the 16GB 9060 XT, paired up with the Ryzen 5 7600, is what I would go for. And again, I'm going to look at the performance that this is going to give you. But it's worth noting that if you do want an in-person bet. And that brings me on nicely to my next combo. And that particular combo is the RTX 5070 paired up with a Ryzen 5 9600X. Now, for illustrative purposes, I've got this Asus Prime card, which is a lovely white GPU, but honestly, any card you can pick up at a good price is what I'd recommend. Current market pricing shows this pairing actually sit not far off its MSRP of $830. Most of this, to be honest with you, is the fact the CPU.
Yeah, it's just going up and 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 up. Yeah. Right, chat. I'm gonna head off. Do a short little stream. Doing some random stuff. But yeah. I will see you guys again tomorrow. I hope. Yeah, I'm tired. God damn it. Yeah, thanks for today, chat. For the little stream. And peace and love. Right? See you guys again tomorrow.